Game of Thrones Season 7 Episode 3 will in fact be called The Queen's Justice. The episode description reads as follows: Daenerys holds court, Cersei returns a gift, and Jaime learns from his mistakes. Let's discuss what this could mean. Daenerys holding court obviously refers to her and Jon Snow meeting up for the first time ever, and I, like many other people, are super excited about this meeting. She did want Jon Snow to bend the knee, as she wrote in the Raven that she sent him last episode, but Jon Snow that's not in his character. He's a Northernman. Northernmen traditionally do not kneel, but I think Jon Snow's dire situation with the Night King is going to force him to bend the knee, just not in the traditional sense. Cersei returning a gift could likely mean that she sends back Arya and possibly Yara, but I don't think that's going to happen. Cersei's not one to shop and then return. So I think what this could actually mean is that Daenerys captures one of Cersei's people. Alright, now to the shots of the actual trailer. The first shot we get is of Daenerys, and we get it, Dany. We get it, sweetheart. You were born to rule, and that is soon to come. So I was actually a little bit disappointed with her scenes the last episodes because I thought she was being a little bit bratish. But someone had made a really good point in my comment section to make about how people like Stannis and a lot of the other lords of Westeros kind of have that same attitude. I feel like the reason why I think she's being bratish because the way she drops her lines. The way she delivers in this scene kind of, to me, makes her seem a little bit, like a child. Don't get me wrong, I'm still a huge fan of Daenerys, and I think that once we see her hop on that dragon and burn some shit, I'll get past those scenes. Next up, we see Euron walking through the streets with Yara, Arya, and Tyene, aka his gift for Cersei. Cersei then quotes Rambo and says some shit like, "We drew first blood," meaning she attacked Dany first. Then we get a shot of Jon Snow arriving on the beach to Dragonstone, or this could be the Unsullied arriving at Casterly Rock. I think the first shot we see of Grey Worm and the Unsullied this episode will likely be them arriving at Casterly Rock or just departing from Dragonstone, and this scene could be either one of those. And we get Varys and Tyrion warning Dany about how Cersei knows they're coming and she will be prepared. And we get a shot of Jaime walking down a hallway of what looks like King's Landing. He could be preparing troops to go and take Highgarden. We get a shot of Sansa walking from the Godswood. We've seen this shot a lot in the trailers, and in the trailer that we initially saw it in, it was an extended scene, and she looks to be walking away in tears. Here's a theory going around that might actually be Bran next to Sansa in the Godswood, and if she's walking away in tears, this may be where Bran could have showed her a vision of what's to come, that being the Night King and fucking winter. This would explain why she has tears on her face, and it would be awesome to see if Bran may have developed his ability to the point where he can share visions with other, like the Blood Raven, and that person pops up in the vision and they can walk around and interact with stuff just like him. I don't think he's developed it quite that far, but I do think it's possible for Bran to show someone a flashback / vision of the future. This could also be when Sansa kills Littlefinger. Then the last couple shots of the trailer are more shots of the Seas of Casterly Rock, and I do think the Unsullied will use Tyrion's knowledge of the cisterns and sneak into Casterly Rock that way, ultimately being successful in their siege. The very last shot we get is of Jon Snow meeting Daenerys. I am personally excited for this because these are my two favorite characters in the show, and they will be meeting up. Jon Snow is ice, Daenerys is fire. Let me know down below how you think this initial interaction will go. I think they're very proud people, so I don't think that they're immediately going to be dick riding each other. I want to talk about how Euron was potentially poisoned during his fight with the Sand Snakes. Now, he did ultimately kill them, but before that happened, Nymeria grabs his neck with the whip, and then Obara rushes up behind him and pierces his body with her spear. Oberyn was known to coat his spears before fighting the Mountain in poison. Tyene was the one that we saw coating the blades with poison back in Dorne, but I'm sure, like father, like daughter, Obara coated her spear as well. It pierced Euron's body, so the poison is definitely in his blood, and Obara, being Oberyn's oldest daughter, is the most like Oberyn. She trained in spear combat and is known to walk up behind motherfuckers and stab them, and it's basically what she did in this fight with Euron. Obara is actually known to wear her armor on when they're in Dorne, traveling through the hot-ass deserts, so she's always ready. I'm pretty sure that since they knew they were on their ship and they're in enemy territory, they had their blades coated and ready to go. That's why they ran out and started fighting him as quickly as they did. The Sand Snakes are known for using poison, so I'm sure Oberyn taught all of his daughters how to coat their weapons in poison. I want to discuss a little bit of Euron's background. Euron is a wildly unpredictable and cruel man, known for his delight in playing vicious mind games and waging psychological warfare on those around him. He is the captain of the ship Silence, crewed entirely by mutes. The reason why his whole crew is mutes is because he did this in order to prevent them from revealing any of his secrets. Euron personally ripped the tongues out of each one of their mouths. About 1 year before the first novel, Euron raped and impregnated his brother Victarion's third wife. Victarion will likely not ever be a character on the show. He claimed that it was not rape and that he had in fact seduced Victarion's wife, but everyone knew that he was a lying bastard man, and Balon banished him from the Iron Islands. Balon is actually Theon's father. After being banished from the Iron Islands, Euron sailed his ship far to the east, raiding and plundering as an infamous pirate. Euron sailed to the distant Ashai and the Jade Sea and plundered the strange city's Shadowbinders. He also paid the iron price to seize a fortune worth of spices from the arbors in WIGHT. I would love to see Ashai and WIGHT and all of these fancy, super far east places, but I doubt we have time for that in the show. Thank God we're getting a spinoff. This dude is also known to have raided around Karth, and many men were afraid of the warlocks/wizards of that city, but Euron attacked and captured several of them. He actually tortured these dark wizard motherfuckers, and he made them teach him the ways of black magic. He captured 4 warlocks at first, but when one dared to threaten Euron, he killed him and then fed the flesh of the dude that he killed to the other warlocks. Obviously, most people aren't going to eat humans' flesh, but he starved them until they were desperate enough to eat their fallen comrade. After Euron captured and tormented these warlocks, he picked up the habit of drinking Shade of the Evening, and just like those wizards that we saw back in Season 2, his lips turned blue. Now, I do think we started to see hints of that on the TV show. It may not be Shade of the Evening, but it may be Milk of the Poppy. When we first saw him back, everyone was saying, oh, he looks like a rock star, he's got eyeliner on. What that could actually be is hinting at the fact that this dude may be addicted to Shade of the Evening or Milk of the Poppy. What I'm getting at here is that Euron has sailed all over Planetos and he has seen lots of things. I'm sure at some point during his crazy adventures, someone has attempted to poison him. And him drinking Shade of the Evening, that actually is a poison. The reason why the warlocks do it is because it gives them visions of the future and vivid hallucinations. Euron has likely developed a natural immunity to many poisons, or it could take longer to affect him because he has so many different antibodies working in his body. What may happen is he may seem like a foe that no one can overcome until the poison starts to affect him later on, and it could be an easy way to kill him off unexpectedly. There's a popular theory floating around the internet that the Night King will actually freeze the ocean and use that to get his undead army and invade Westeros. I just want to go ahead and say that if that's the case, the wall is pointless. And the reason why this theory is gaining traction is because if you notice, when you first see the ocean, or when you first see the North in the opening credits of Game of Thrones, there's this creepy mist and haze, and it's almost like winter washing over the land. But when they zoom in further and actually show Castle Black, you can see that the ocean next to the wall, as you've noticed in this picture right here, is liquid. It's completely liquid. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't possible, that the Night King will freeze the ocean, but if he does do that, what the hell has been the purpose of the wall since the last invasion? The wall has stood this entire time, but he could have frozen the ocean to get around it. And I guess I do kind of agree with it could be that he was waiting for a strong enough winter to come, because we do know that in Game of Thrones they experience heavier and lighter winters. Sometimes it lasts for 2 years, sometimes it lasts for 10 years. If this were the case, and the Night King could just freeze the ocean and walk around the wall, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of the wall. I do think that everyone will end up at Eastwatch by the Sea, but I think the Night King may be traveling there because he knows that there are Night's Watch members at Castle Black. So he could be seeking a different vantage point to invade Westeros. But I think where this theory came from is the fact that winter is just creeping on Westeros, and the showrunners were trying to show us that it's coming down past the north and it will eventually reach King's Landing. I do not think that the Night King will freeze the ocean by Eastwatch by the Sea and wreak havoc upon Westeros that way, but it is possible. I want to give a super special shout out to Terry, Justin Stone Diaz, Darton, Joe Swag, Angel, and Lynn Shaw. Without you all, these videos would not be possible. And if you would like to become a member of my Patreon family and show your support to Sir Hunt's Reviews, all you have to do is click the link down below in the description or up here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you could please slap a like on this video. Make sure you're subscribed, and then go ahead and turn your notifications on so you get notified every time I drop Game of Thrones content. If you would like to enter my contest to win this lovely Daenerys Dark Horse figurine, all you have to do to enter that contest is like this video, comment down below, and then make sure you're subscribed. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.